requires binding arbitration. It doesn't say on which branch of government has to be binding or whether it has to be binding on both. It just says binding. Is it your, tell me how you feel as a leader of an organization about a bill that would be binding upon the executive but not upon the council, and why, or why you wouldn't be opposed to it? In other words, it would preserve the integrity of, quote, binding arbitration, yet it would be a different form of what we have before us.
To bind it on the county executive as opposed to the council.
Well, right now, I think the bill doesn't, my opinion is that no one's bound, but what if it were binding on the executive and not on the council?
I have great heartache with that.
Yeah.
Depending upon who the county executive is, and quite frankly, the current county executive, that's the reason the binding arbitration is written as it is. It takes the politics out of it. Okay, and if you give it back to the 34-year career politician, I've got some great concern over that issue. It should be upon the council. Again, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think you all have the ability, should an arbitrator decide in the favor of the union or one of the public safety unions, you all have the ability under emergency legislation with the votes to say, we're not doing that. So, and to this day, it's been tried 4 times, and this county has been successful all 4 times. So to change it and to give it to the county executive is very troubling.
No, my question was it would be the council's decision ultimately. I want to make sure you understand.
Okay.
I was just floating the hypothetical that if binding arbitration were only binding on truly binding on the executive, but not binding upon the council, that is, the council could cut the arbitrator's award from a budget to keep itself from being bound, but it was truly binding on the executive, you'd still have a problem with that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.